Hello, my name is Joe Brumfield, Senior Director with ASCD. Our team is dedicated to partnering with you to create custom solutions for all of your professional learning needs. On behalf of your friends here at ASCD, I'd like to welcome you to ASCD Webbies. Our Webbies are short clips created by our faculty members to highlight strategies to help educators deliver virtual instruction. Join us every Friday to learn and share some creative ways to deliver instruction with engaging online tools. Our Webbies will be released every Friday on social media accounts as well as ASCD streaming. Follow the hashtag ASCD Faculty Friday to view our latest releases. Enjoy.
Welcome, everyone. Good to see you here and hope you're all safe and well. Welcome to ASCD's Professional Learning Services. We're here today to talk a little bit about leadership and how to lead without loneliness. Leading is a lonely profession, and whether you're a teacher leader, a building leader, a district leader, you lead in some other capacity, it can often be really lonely. And so I've put this great image here of the empty school hallway. And we've probably all experienced times in our careers where it's felt like we're the only ones there. And so we're going to take a couple minutes to talk about how we can lead from a place of collective community and spirit. My name is Fred Endy. I'm the Director of Curriculum and Instructional Services for one of New York's regional educational service agencies. And my role is to work with teachers and leaders, educators in all roles, to help them design curriculum instruction and assessment initiatives that allow them to do things that they might not be able to do on their own. It's a great role. I really love it. And it's given me a lot of time to think about how we can lead effectively. And so I want to go over some of the outcomes for this Webby with you. And we have really three main outcomes we're going to be looking at in our time together. One is going to be, we're going to talk about a three-pronged frame to thinking about leadership, something that I've experienced in my career as a teacher, doing regional science work, curriculum leadership work, and something that has really helped me frame my thinking. Then we're going to take some time to talk about relationships and look at some ingredients in relationship building and sustaining relationships that are really important if we don't want to lead from a place of loneliness. And then lastly, I'm going to connect you to a technology tool that you could choose to use immediately to help you lead from that community and people frame. So let's dive right in. So I know there's a lot of text on this slide, and don't worry, we're not going to go through everything that's on here, but I would like to give you an opportunity to take a look at a three-frame approach to leadership. This is something that I've melded from my own experiences and that I've put into practice in the work that I do. And basically, the way I see leadership is we have a choice. We can lead from three different frames. Okay? We can lead by product, right, where end results kind of guide our work. We can lead by process, where it's all about the journey, right, and how we get somewhere. Or we can lead by and for people, where we put the focus on who is involved and how they're going to be involved and why they're involved. And so if you take a look at these and give yourself a moment to scan through them, you'll see there are some similarities and some necessary differences, right? So if you go a little more than halfway down, you'll see that there's some key differences in the thinking we undergo when we think across these three frames, right? So when we lead by product, we're usually crafting a plan to come up with something that's going to be as close to perfect as possible, and it's going to result in a competitive frame in the work we do. When we lead by process, we are really focused on how we're going to get somewhere. We can incorporate elements of design thinking in a process-based leadership style, right? And And we're really tied to elements of collaboration. And when we lead by people, we tend to base our thinking on needs assessment. What is it that others need? And so often that generates both a real collaborative perspective as well as some opportunities for competition. So here are some of the key elements for building relationships. And I like to think of these ingredients as the TLC-R ingredient list, right? You'll see trust, listening, collaboration, and respect. And what I've done is I've taken a couple things from educators whose work I value and whose work I found to be really impactful, and I've shared a little bit about them in here. And so I just want to take a moment to talk about these with you. So trust is one of the key components to building relationships, right? If people don't believe you're going to deliver on what you promise, then your relationships aren't going to go very far. And there are key characteristics that people who are trying to build trust and those who are on the receiving end of trust need to be thinking about, right? That's kind of spoken about in Hurley's article. Listening is also key. And it's a great, fantastic book written by Shane Safer called The Listening Leader. And in it, Safer talks about how if we're going to do any work as leaders, one of the things we have to strengthen is our ability to really listen to people. And Brian Goodwin, fantastic educator and thinker, writer for ASCD, he talks a little bit about the importance of being truly interested and curious in people. And if we can awaken our own curiosity in others, help others awaken their levels of curiosity, then we can accomplish truly great things. Collaboration is, of course, a necessity to building relationships. We have to remember that we collaborate with people, not ideas. So we have to hold people to kind of like this high standard and this level of love, right? We have to be connected to people, and we have to be comfortable with ideas not driving, at least all the time, the direction we move. Anthony Kim, Alexis Gonzalez Black, in their book, The New School Rules, talk about why that also means we can't just rely on consensus. Sometimes we have to give people the voice and choice to share what they have to share, but also recognize that not every decision can be a consensual one. And that's where respect also comes into play, right? We have to show that we have expertise, but we should never get to a point where we believe we're the experts. Everybody's opinion and experience comes into play, okay? Sustaining relationships is also key and a necessary part of any type of leadership we're going to do from a people-first frame. And by the way, all three of those, leading by product, leading by process, leading by people, are important. But I contend that if we're going to lead without loneliness, we have to do it with people as the prime kind of focus in our work. Some of these elements of sustaining relationships can be really difficult, particularly at a time right now where we're in a situation of extended closure. But things like checking in, regularly reaching out to people, making calls, staying connected via email, sometimes even having like a meal with people virtually is really important. We also have to be willing to add fuel. That means engaging in new experiences, solving problems together, and sometimes it also means changing the makeups of our teams. Sometimes people are appropriate on a team at a given time and not appropriate on the team at another. Doesn't mean that people are less effective at doing things, but it does mean that our team dynamics have to be changed and shifted. And then lastly, we have to be willing to reflect and self-reflect in the sense of asking ourselves questions about the work we're doing to support other people. So the last thing I want to talk with you about in this Webbie is a tool that you can use to help make those people connections and help stay connected. And the tool that I'm sharing is a tool called Screencastomatic. It's a free online recorder that captures your screen and the recordings. It allows for about 15 minutes of recording time, and it allows you to save files on the local computer or upload them to YouTube for sharing. It's a great tool for guidance and facilitation to help support others. Sometimes if you want to walk through ideas with people and help them see how to solve a problem. It's also a great way to see inside the life of things and see inside how things work. And so what I'm going to do, I want to share with you this other site. So I'm going to share the screen with you real quickly. Okay, so if you take a look, you'll see it right here. This is Screencastomatic. It's a fantastic tool for screencasts, and you can record for free. In fact, the recording tool itself is built right into the web. You don't have to download anything or do anything differently. So I'm going to go back to the presentation and pick that up with you. And what I want to do before we wrap up is share the resources. These are all fantastic texts, books, and articles that I'd recommend you take a look at if you're interested in thinking about ways to lead outside of a loneliness frame. So I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to kind of lead without loneliness, to remember that, yes, we are in this together. And that means that if we're truly going to be in this together, then we have to be willing to lead with people as the primary in all the work that we do.